Akandamandalakaram Vyaptam yena characharam Tatpadam darshitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ajnanati mirandasya Jana jana shalakaya Chakshurum militam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Stavaranjam Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Stavaram Jagamam Vyapam Yakinchit Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Babaji Vyapi Yat Sarvam Trailokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Shoshanam Sarvabhutatma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gururadiranadirša Guru Paramadevatam Guru Parataram Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्याद्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव मन मंदिर में गुरुदेवा प्रेम भगवान मेरे सद्गुरु स्वामी विश्वानंदा।
तुम्हें भगवान मेरे सद्गुरु स्वामी विश्वानंदा।
तुम्हें भगवान मेरे सद्गुरु स्वामी विश्वानंदा।
मन मंदिर में गुरुदेवा प्रेमावतार।
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 तुम्हें भगवान मेरे सद्गुरु स्वामी विश्वानंदा।
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 Come to the temple of my heart, Premavatar.
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 तुम्हें भगवान मेरे सद्गुरु स्वामी विश्वानंदा।
तुम्हें भगवान मेरे सद्गुरु स्वामी विश्वानंदा।
सद्गुरु स्वामी विश्वानंदा।
तुम्हें भगवान मेरे 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 सद्गुरु स्वामी विश्वानंदा।
अवतारशाय नमः। ओम विश्वमाय नमः। ओम देवकार्य समुद्राय नमः। ओम सूक्ष्मतनवे नमः। ओम चिन्मयाय नमः। ओम गुरुमूर्तये नमः। ओम सुंदराय नमः। ओम सुलोचनाय नमः। ओम सुमुखाय नमः। ओम चर्वसाय नमः। ओम केशवाय नमः। ओम पद्मपूजाय नमः। ओम अन्नगमनाय नमः। ओम चर्वरधरे नमः। ओम रामाय नमः। ओम मंदिरस्थापकाय नमः। ओम शिरदीपावर्चकाय नमः। ओम गायत्री अश्वने नमः। ओम अर्पण स्वीकारकाय नमः। ओम विष्णु पूजकाय नमः। ओम नमो नारायणेति मंत्रोपासकाय नमः। ओम स्वरमयाय नमः। ओम मधुरस्पकाय नमः। ओम कृष्ण संकीर्तन लोलुपाय नमः। ओम श्रोत्रप्रियाय नमः। ओम मिताभाषिणे नमः। ओम वाग्मिने नमः। ओम चित्रकला विशारदाय नमः। ओम व्रतधराय नमः। ओम सदवे नमः। ओम जगत्पन्थाय नमः। ओम सर्वलोकहिताय नमः। ओम भक्तप्रियाय नमः। ओम सुरदाय नमः। ओम अनुकूलाय नमः। ओम नेयाय नमः। ओम सुदर्शनाय नमः। ओम भक्तवत्सलाय नमः। ओम प्रेममूर्तये नमः। ओम शुभेक्षणाय नमः। ओम प्रीतिवर्धनाय नमः। ओम स्वस्तिदायकाय नमः। ओम तारकाय नमः। ओम अनुग्रहाय नमः। ओम वर्धनाय नमः। ओम अर्चिताय नमः। ओम अर्ताय नमः। ओम सिद्धिप्रदाय नमः। ओम जनार्दनाय नमः। ओम मनोहराय नमः। ओम अक्षाय नमः। ओम सिद्धेश्वराय नमः। ओम भस्मभूषिताय नमः। ओम आत्मलिंगाय नमः। ओम लिंगक्षण प्रोत्साहकाय नमः। ओम सिद्धिसदनाय नमः। ओम माधवाय नमः। ओम ओंकारोपासकाय नमः। ओम सूक्ष्माय नमः। ओम दिशोकाय नमः। ओम सद्विकाय नमः। ओम समदर्शिने नमः। ओम दक्षाय नमः। ओम अचिन्त्याय नमः। ओम निरंकाराय नमः। Om Nirmohaya Namaha, Om Avyagraya Namaha, Om Chitakrodaya Namaha, Om Vinayashilaya Namaha, Om Svavashaya Namaha, Om Kushalaya Namaha, Om Shamaya Namaha, Om Satyadharmaya Namaha, Om Nirvikalpaya Namaha, Om Viraktaya Namaha, Om Atindraya Namaha, Om Satyasandaya Namaha, Om Pavitraya Namaha, Om Madhurasvabhavaya Namaha, Om Suranandaya Namaha, Om Nandanaya Namaha, Om Prasanatmane Namaha, Om Bhaktanidaye Namaha, Om Sakshaye Namaha, Om Samatmaye Namaha, Om Sadayogine Namaha, Om Haraye Namaha, Om Sutapaya Namaha, Om Samyaya Namaha, Om Guyaya Namaha, Om Vimuktatmaya Namaha, Om Kapiraya Namaha, Om Guptaya Namaha, Om Atmaramaya Namaha, Om Srinivasaya Namaha, Om Devaya Namaha, Om Dyutidaraya Namaha, Om Danyaya Namaha, Om Gurave Namaha, Om Duratikramaya Namaha, Om Gahanaya Namaha, Om Bhagavate Namaha, Om Harisharana Margadarshakaya Namaha, Om Kutastha Jagartakaya Namaha, Om Aviprayaya Namaha, Om Sarvamata Samatyaya Namaha, Om Shamaikatabhavarlakaya Namaha, Om Premavatara Shri Vishwananda Swamine Namaha. Ato Deva Avantulo Yato Vishnur Vichakrame Prediya Sapta Dhamami Idam Vishnur Vichakrame Predani Dade Padam Samudamasya Pagum Sure Trini Pada Vichakrame Vishnur Gopa Adabhyaha Tato Dharmani Dharyenne Vishnu Karmani Pashyata Yato Mritani Paspashe Indrasya Yujasaka Tad Vishnu Paramam Padagum Sada Pashyanti Surya Divi Vachakshuratatam Tad Vipraso Vipanyavo Jagri Bhagum Sasamindate Vishnu Yat Paramam Padam. Sadgurudevaya Dhimahi Tano Vishwananda Prachodayat. Om Premavattaraya Vidmahe Sadgurudevaya Dhimahi Tano Vishwananda Prachodayat. Om Premavattaraya Vidmahe Sadgurudevaya Dhimahi Tano Vishwananda Prachodayat. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvighnan Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Shri
Krishna Vishnu Madhusudana Kaitavare Narayana Achyuta Trivikrama Chakrapale Daityadi Sanjadhara Srinara Vasudeva Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Suprabhatam
Shri Rukminisha Pavanasha Hare Murare Radesha Gopesha Surupa Brahmadi Vanya Shri Dvarakashaya Vaikunta Pate Bhuvaneka Murte Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Nina Krute Kamatarupa Varaha Murte Traivikramaya Guhane Dhruva Rama Rama Shri Rama Krishna Yadunandana Kalki Rupa Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Govinda Madhava Mukunda Paratparesha Damodara Jadarananda Katari Shori Gopa Gopi Jana Samvrata Dina Bando Gopi Jana Priyaraye Tava Suprabhatam Shirat Vishai Bhujagari Patalpashai Sadbhaktar Sadhanashai Ramangashai Shri Gopapama Madhutalpa Sukhadishai Gopa Vallabharaye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Kashyapati Sukhanarada Gautamani Brahmarshi Sangamadi Sangava Bharatesho Tishtanti Devata Vadashana Bhagya Hetoho Gopala Sekararaye Tava Suprabhatam Mandada Chari Tulasi Dala Malikayahe Maryani Anjali Puter Samudharanti Tishtanti Padmavata Dharatale Murindraha Radha Manohararaye Tava Suprabhatam Vedatrayam Patati Gautama Kana Guyaha Jayanti Sadguna Gano Bharata Savargaha Sankirtayanti Tava Nama Kada Visheshaha Shri Naradari Rishaya Tava Suprabhatam Govardhano Dhanana Gopa Kishora Gopa Gopi Janamrita Suvesha Bhavadi Pota Trilokya Mohana Sumangala Divya Deha Shri Rukminisha Varada Tava Suprabhatam Shri Vatsachina Sharanagata Parijata Bhaktarthi Bhanjana Kripakara Dina Bandho Vidyanta Gayati Janapriya Divya Rupa Shri Nanda Gopatanaya Tava Suprabhatam Padmaksha Padmamukha Padmadhara Prameya Padmalaya Sharita Padma Nivasa Shori Padmodbhavati Sudasevita Pada Padma Padmadinata Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Vrindatale Haranaya Mahendra Vanya Gandharpadharpa Harati Sudesha Rupa Chandrananaya Siya Chandana Litna Deha Govindayada Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Nandanandana Yashoda Kumara Dhira Mayanga Hina Dadichona Supushpahara Nilam Buddha Sharira Rama Vihara Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Bharshi Janbhavati Satya Suganti Bhadra Shri Mitra Vinda Divasasra Muputrikayae Tishtanti Divya Bhavame Tava Sevanarna Gopi Mana Priyaraye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Krishna Achyutananda Mukunda Shori Radha Manohara Janardana Chakrapale Namani Divya Munayorna Nisham Vadanti Brahmi Muhurta Samaye Tava Suprabhatam
Shri Krishna Suprabhatam Ye Patanti Ahanisham Bhuri Kritam Mahapapam Shri Krishna Grahetukam Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Chintamani Prakara Satma Sukalpa Veksha Lakshavuteshu Sudabira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shatasam Namasevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venum Pavantamaravindra Dalayakaksham Paravatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpakotikamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Alola Chandakala Sadvanamalya Vamshi Ratnangadam Pranayakeri Kalavilasam Shamam Tribangalalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakalerya Vittimanti Pashyanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadujvala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Advaitamachutamanadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Dulapamadulavamaatma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastu Koti Shakavatsara Sampraganyo Vayoratapi Manaso Muni Pungavanam Sopyasti Yatra Padasinyana Chintatave Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Ekopya Saurachayitum Jagadanda Koti Yaschaktirasti Jagadanda Chayayadantaha Andantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yadbhava Bhavita Diyo Manujastapeva Samprapya Rupa Manimansanayana Bhusha Suppeyameva Nigama Pratitestuvanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Ananda Chinmaya Rasam Pratibhavitabhis Sabhirya Eva Nijarupataya Kalabhihi Goloka Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Nirareshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundara Machintya Guna Svarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Ramadi Murti Shukalani Yavena Tishtam Nanavataram Akarod Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Svayam Samabhavat Paramapumanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasya Prabhava Prabhavo Jagadanda Koti Kotishva Shesha Vasudhadi Vibhuti Vinam Tat Brahmanishkalam Anantam Shesha Bhutam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Maya hi asya jagadandashatari sute Draigunhyata vishaya veda vitayamana Sattva valambi parasattva vishuddha sattvam Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Ananda chinmaya rasatmanaya manashu Yapranina pratipalam svaratamupedya Lila itena bhuvanani jayati jasham Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Golokanamni nijadhamni tale chatasya Devi Mahesha Haridhama Suteshu Teshu Te Prabhavani Chaya Vihitaschayena Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Shishti Shishti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chaye Vayasya Bhuvanani Vibhakti Durga Ichhanurupamapi Yasya Cheshta Teja Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Kshiram yathada divikara vishesha yoga Sanjayate nahi tata prathak asti hetoh Yasham bhutam api tatha samupaiti karyat Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Dipachireva nija shantaramabhyupedya Dipayate vidita hetu samana dharma Yastatriyeva ishadishitaya vibhati Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Yakaranavala jale bhajati smayoga Nidram ananta jagadanda saroma kupaha Adhara shakti mavaramya param samurte Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Yashantakalamatavalamya Jivanti loma vilaja jaganandanataha Vishnur mahansaya yasya kala vishesho Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Bhasvanya chashma shakaleshu vijeshu tejaha Shriyam kiyat prakatayatyapi tadvadatra Brahmaya esha jagadanda vidhana karta Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Yatpada palavayunam vinidaya kumbha Vandre pranama samaye saragadi rajaha Dinam dinantu amalasya jagatrayasya Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Agnir mahi ganganam ambut marudishascha Kalastatatma manasiti jagatrayani Yasmat bhavanti vibhavanti vishanti yamcha Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Yachakshuresha savita sakala gahanam Rajasamasta surapurti rashesha tejaha Yajnayakravati samritakala chakro Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Dharmotha papa nichaya shrutayastapamsi Brahmadikita padagadhavayasya jivaha Yadda tamatra vibhava prakata prabhava Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Yasminta rupa madhavindra mahosvakarma Bandhana rupa palavacha manatanodi Karmani nirnamati kinti cha bhakti vacha bhajami, Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami, Yam krodha kama sahaja pranayadi bhidi, Vatsalya moha guru gaurava seva bhavahe, Sancincha tasya sadashintamuna purete, Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami,
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Agnaram Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmei Shri Gurave Namaha. Good morning, everybody. So I've taken verse 13, chapter 18, and canto 3 from the Srimad Bhagavatam, and the verses as such. Maitreya Uvacha Sodikstipito Bhagavata Pralabdhascha Rusha Bhrisham Ajaharopanam Krodham Kridhyamano Hirad Iva. Sri Maitreya said, the demon, being thus challenged, Varaha became angry and agitated, and trembled in anger like a challenged cobra. So the narration of this story is the narration from sage Maitreya to Vidur. And of course, we remember Vidur, he decides to go on a pilgrimage, and then during that time he meets sage Maitreya, and he has many, many questions for him. And they discuss and they talk about a lot of different things over that discourse. What I liked in this, the commentary of this verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it says here, a cobra is very fierce before ordinary persons, but before an enchanter who can play with him, he is a plaything. Similarly, a demon may be very powerful in his own domain, but before the Lord he is insignificant. And I was thinking about this. I was thinking about, the topic, generally the topic of being challenged, and when we're challenged. And of course, many different kinds of relationship. And I wanted to bring it into the context of this, the relationship between the spiritual master and the devotee. And it doesn't really matter whichever level you go to, from the newcomer, the person that's for the first time met Guruji, to the Swami that's been living with him for, decades, and has known him for decades. Nevertheless, doesn't matter. You're going to be challenged, and the master is going to challenge you. Now, this is something that Guruji said, I've come here to challenge your mind. And this is the thing that needs to transform that mind. Unfortunately, we all have one. Fortunately, we all have one. The question is how is the mind functioning? And this is what he's really challenging. Is he challenging you as a person? He just doesn't like your face? Just doesn't like you as an individual? Or is he challenging the quality of the mind? And many people have fallen for that, he doesn't like me. Whatever I do, he doesn't like me. He doesn't look at me. And they put it in the wrong perspective. They decide to take it on a personal level. What needs to be understood is that he's not here to make things personal. I mean, if he wanted to make things personally, he could. But it's not about that. It's about challenging for the purpose of transformation. So the description above of the cobra being a very powerful animal and striking fear into the heart of others. But before that snake charmer, he becomes a plaything. The snake charmer knows exactly how to distract that cobra, to reduce that level of anger, that animosity, and then to such an extent that he can just literally play with the cobra. Likewise, when people come into the presence of a purified devotee or in the presence of a Satguru, they may be very, very strong, know what they're doing, in their environment, they may be, let's say, unchallengeable, but yet in the presence of the Sadguru, in the presence of such a purified devotee, they can be challenged in ways that they never would have even imagined. For example, the story of Sage Narada. He was walking through this forest, and Sage Narada had heard that there was a murderer living in this forest. This reputation of the murderer preceded him. And whoever would go in that forest would risk their life. Most likely they would not come out once they entered. And this murderer, after murdering his victim, would take all of their wealth, whatever they had on them, he would steal. Of course, this was the murderer known as Ratnakara. And so Sage Narada, wanting to meet this individual, walked through the forest. And of course, when Ratnakara came upon Sage Narada, of course he threatened to kill him. He said, "I will take away all of your things, I will kill you." Sage Narada was, "Yep, okay, no problem, it's all good." And the thief was a bit surprised. He was shocked. Most people beg for their lives. Why aren't you begging for your life? He said, "My life is not important to me." Now, the thief was like, "What? You may have many things important to you in your life, but one thing above all, what is important to you? Your life." Sage Narada wasn't attached to the body. He knew that he wasn't the body, had nothing to do with the body. And many people are very attached to this body. And so then he challenged Ratnakara in such a way that he'd never been challenged before. Of course, we know the rest of the story and how Ratnakara was actually transformed through this experience to become a great, great sage. So the point here is that Ratnakara, he was in his own environment. He was very strong. He was very well known, very feared. But on meeting that purified devotee, he was challenged in such a way that he became completely transformed. And over the last few days, I've seen that happening, or that process, let's say, not the transformation like it happens overnight, but I've seen that process whereby Guruji's been challenging and challenging and challenging. We might think that we're very strong, but actually when the Guru wants to challenge us, seemingly that weakness that we have inside is going to be revealed. And in challenging you, that weakness that we've tried to hide, that we don't potentially want to see, is going to be revealed and shown. What is he actually revealing? He's revealing that fear. And when fear is revealed, what does one normally do? You go into the fear, or you hide it, or you run away. For a while, I was often very scared that if I was singing and Guruji would come into the room, I'd be very nervous. And one morning in the temple, the prayers started, and it was very unusual that Guruji would come to the temple, but I started singing, and I was singing a specific song, and I was thinking, I hope Guruji doesn't come in. And just as I was thinking that thought, who walks in the temple? Guruji. And in those times, it's in the small temple. So literally, Guruji would be sitting where he sits in the temple now, and you have the harmonium. Guruji be literally sitting right next to the harmonium. His asana was right next to the harmonium, to the musicians. So he could literally nearly reach out, and touch you. So I had just started singing a song. Sitarama kaho, Radhishama kaho, Sitarama kaho. So I was singing this song, and Guruji came and sat down next to me, and on his asana, and he was listening to me singing. And my kaho, as I was singing Sitarama kaho, changed into Sitarama koho. So first of all, he said koho, and I said Sitarama kaho. And then he said, it's kaho, not koho. Sitarama koho. It's kaho. Sitarama koho. It's kaho. And then I was Sitaram. And he was waiting for me to sing the next koho. So he was getting more and more angry, and I wasn't looking at him. I was just like playing the music. And the more that he would admonish me, like shout at me, my head would get closer and closer to the harmonium. Have you ever seen those ostriches in Australia? Like when sometimes there's a saying that when they're frightened, they stick their head in the sand. They pretend that the enemy's not there. If I can't see it, the danger's gone. So I sang one line, and I could feel like these laser beams coming out of his eyes in the back of my head, as my head was, crouched over the harmonium and I was singing. And he's literally just like an arm reach away. And I could feel him like waiting for me to sing that line again. Sitarama koho. It's not koho, it's kaho, it's kaho, it's kaho. He's shouting at me, and I'm just pretending he's not there. Now, when Guruji challenges you, maybe the best approach is not to pretend that he's not actually there, especially when he's just about 1 meter away from you. And it's interesting that Guruji will always challenge you in different ways and challenge your ability to perform or your ability to communicate or your ability to represent. Recently, I shared a message in a country sangha where Guruji called a certain country rubbish. He was calling out the ability for the country to perform, to spread, to share, to represent. And he was complaining about how the country had not grown. So he was directly challenging each and every individual of the Sangha within that country. And it's not easy when Guruji challenges you. How will you take this? When he calls you rubbish, how does it make you feel? Is it understood why he is saying that? And the question is, well, am I going to write myself off and go, oh yeah, I'm useless, like, yeah, he hates me, he says I'm no good, that's it, I'm finished? Or are you going to take it like a boxer has to take a few hits every once in a while? Understand that the guru-disciple relationship is a bit like boxing. When you get in the ring, it's not that you're not going to get hit. You're going to get hit. You're going to have to take a few hits because that's the game, isn't it? Guruji doesn't, he doesn't get in the ring and he doesn't play soft sometimes. Sometimes he's got those boxing gloves on and you have to pull some good punches. How are you going to take it? Are you going to go into self-loathing, I'm no good? Or are you going to take the hit and go, okay, well, I've got to cover up, I've got to improve my game? Many times when it was an event, so I was the event manager here for 12 years, and I was always responsible for the event, and I was always on the front line where if something was going wrong, he would turn to me. And normally I would always get challenged by Guruji. This was the challenge. Being challenged by Guruji, are you going to take the challenge every event? And I was always bracing, I was always a bit stressed, ready for the next event, what's going to happen this time? And so one Lakshmi Yagna, Guruji asked me to talk about Ma. So I love Ma. And I thought, okay, no problem, we'll talk about Ma. So the next morning on the Lakshmi Yagna, I'm facing all of the crowd, but out the corner of my eye, I can see we've got the puja kitchen in the tent, and there's the, the barrier, the covering. So nobody can see Guruji apart from me, and I can see the rest of the crowd in the tent. So I start with the speech, and I'm talking away, and as I'm talking, I have a little pause, look back at Guruji, and Guruji starts frowning at me. So I turn back and I'm looking at the crowd, continuing with the talk, and then I look back at Guruji, and he's beginning to get more agitated, more angry. And I'm like, I don't know, what's he angry for? Like, what's going on? And I look back at the crowd, continue with the speech. I look back at Guruji, and he's getting really agitated. He's raising his arms like this behind the curtain, and I just look back at the crowd and just ignore him completely. I don't know what's going on over there, but I'm just going to continue. I have to keep my focus. I have to keep my concentration, and I have to be able to deliver. And in certain moments like this, he's been challenging me, like, am I going to keep my focus? Am I going to be able to, pull off what he's asked me to do? And many times he's going to challenge you in different ways. But the fact is, he is going to challenge you. So in such a way, Guruji challenges. He calls into action our thoughts, the way that we communicate, the way that we perform our actions. And his challenges can actually be great opportunities if we see it that way. He's not going to accept that same standard from us that we have now. He wants us to raise the standard all the time. Yesterday's standard might not be okay for today, and tomorrow's standard might not be what he wants next year. So Guruji's always going to raise that bar all the time. He doesn't let you stay static. He's always going to push you forwards a little bit more, a little bit more. And there was a time when Guruji said to me and Swami Keshava, he was with us, and he says, for the next event, I don't want you to forget one thing. If you forget one thing, I don't care who is there. If you forget one item for this prayer, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to go crazy on you. I don't care who is there. I'm going to tell you off big time. He says, is that clear? And me and Keshava went, ooh, yes. So, and that's the thing. Even if there's one detail missing, it doesn't matter. He's going to raise that bar. And there was one time in those 12 years when he walked in for the event, he sat down, and I could see him looking for something wrong. One tiny little thing. And he couldn't find anything. And I was so happy. I was off the hook. And he looked around, everything was fine. And he was like, okay. And he enjoyed himself in the event. I was like, whew. You know. And this is the thing, he's always going to challenge. It doesn't matter how high you raise, he's always going to challenge you. And what may be a personal challenge could be potentially a blessing for many, many people who you come into contact on your path of spirituality. The challenge which he has given to you personally may even be the way in which a person comes into that direct experience of God. Think about it. The challenges that he's placed before you so far can become the way in which you or another experiences the love of God. Very interesting, huh? The challenges that he places in front of you may be the way in which others can experience the love of God. What a blessing, Jai Gurudev.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Hiranyakashipurvakshaha.
Shilatankanakalaya.
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 Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimho.
Ito Narasimho Parato Narasimho.
Ito Narasimho Parato Narasimho.
Ito Narasimho Parato Narasimho.
Yato Yato Yamitato Narasimho.
Yato Yato Yamitato Narasimho.
yato yato yami tato narasimho.
Yato yato yami tato narasimho.
Bahir narasimho hridaye narasimho.
Bahir narasimho hridaye narasimho.
Bahir narasimho hridaye narasimho.
Bahir narasimho hridaye narasimho.
Narasimham adim sharanam prapadye.
Narasimham adim sharanam prapadye.
Narasimham adim sharanam prapadye.
Narasimham adim sharanam prapadye.
Tavakara kamalavare nakamadhuta shringa. Dalita hiranyakashipu tanuvringa. Keshavadhirita narahari rupa. Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare.
Avakara kamalavare nakamabhuta shringa. Dalita hiranyakashipu tanuvringa. Keshavadhirta narahari rupa. Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare.
Keshavadhirta narahari rupa. Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare.
Keshavadhirta narahari rupa. Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare.
Oh, Jai Narasimha Dev, Narasimha Dev, Narasimha Dev, Jai Narasimha Dev.
Jai Narasimha Dev, Narasimha Dev, Narasimha Dev, Jai Narasimha Dev.
Jai Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Bhakta Swarupa Jai Prahlad Maharaj.
Jai Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Bhakta Swarupa Jai Prahlad Maharaj.
Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Shri Vishwananda Gurudev, 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 Shri Vishwananda Gurudev.
Vishwananda Gurudev, 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 Shri Vishwananda Gurudev.
Gurudev, 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 Shri Vishwananda Gurudev. Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om.
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 Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, 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 Hari Narayana Hari Om.
Sundarananda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om
Hari 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 Keshava Hari Govinda 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 Hari Narayana Hari Om
O Hari Sundarananda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om
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 Vanamali Puradhari Govardhana Giri Varadhari
Vanamali Muralidhari Govardhana Girivaradhari
Mali Puradhari Govardhana Giri Varadhari
Vanamali Muralidhari Govardhana Girivaradhari
Nitya Nitya Kari Makana Chore Hai Pivanahari
Nitya Nitya Kare Makar Chori Hai Gopi Manahari
Nitya Nitya Mani Makana Chore Hai Gopi Manahari
Nitya Nitya Kare Makar Chori Hai Gopi Manahari
Ahore Kanhare Gokula ke pyare
Aore Kanare Gokula ke pyare
Ahore Kanhare Gokula ke pyare
Aore Kanare Gokula ke pyare
Gahore Nachore Rasara Charore
Gavore Nachore Rasa Chaore
Gahore Nachore Rasara Charore
Gavore Nachore Rasa Chaore
Hari Sundarananda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om
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 Hari Keshava Hari Govinda 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 Hari Narayana Hari Om
Hari Sundarananda Mukunda 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 Hari Narayana Hari Om
Vanamali Muralidhari Govardhana Giri Varadhari
Vanamali Muralidhari Govardhana Girivaradhari
Vanamali Muralidhari Govardhana Giri Varadhari
Vanamali Muralidhari Govardhana Girivaradhari
Nitya Nitya Karika Kara Chori Hai Gopi Manahari
Nitya Nitya Kare Makara Chori Hai Gopi Manahari
Nitya Nitya Kari Makana Chori Hai Gopi Manahari
Nitya Nitya Kare Makara Chori Hai Gopi Manahari
Ahore Kanare Gokula ke pyare
Aore Kanare Gokula ke pyare
Ahore Kanare Gokula ke pyare
Aore Kanare Gokula ke pyare
Gahore Nachore Rasa Chaore
Aore Nachore Rasa Chaore
Gahore Nachore Rasa Sundara Mukunda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Keshava Hari Govinda 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 Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om. Oh Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om. Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalave Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalave Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalave Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalave Yatindraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangalave Yatindraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangalame Prapatikarmaikarajaya Mangala Mangalame Prapatikarmaikarajaya Mangala Mangalame Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Saligrama Pratishtitaya Mangala Mangalame Saligrama Pratishtitaya Mangala Mangalame Tridandadari Nigodakajaya Mangala Mangalame Tridandadari Nigodakajaya Mangala Mangalame Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Range Sakentaya Rataya Mangala Mangalame Range Sakentaya Rataya Mangala Mangalame Mananataya Darine Daraya Mangala Mangalame Mananataya Darine Daraya Mangala Mangalame Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Mangala Mangalame Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Swami Jaya Jagadisha Hare Bhakta Janon Ke Sankata Dasa Janon Ke Sankata Shana Me Dura Kare Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jo Jave Palapave Dukha Vinase Manaka Swami Dukha Vinase Manaka Sukha Sampati Gara Ave Sukha Sampati Gara Ave Yashtami Te Danaka Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Mata Pita Tumavere Sharanaka Ume Kisaki Swami Sharanaka Ume Kisaki Tuma Vina Ora Na Duja Tuma Vina Ora Na Duja Asakarume Kisaki Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Tuma Purana Paramatma Tuma Antarayami Swami Tuma Antarayami Jai Jagadisha Hare. Tuma karuna ke sagar, tuma palana karata, Swami tuma palana karata. Ne sevaka tuma Swami, ne sevaka tuma Swami, kripa karo bharata. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Tuma ho eka gochara, sabake pranapati, Swami sabake pranapati. Isa vidi vinodaya maya, isa vidi vinodaya maya, tumako me kumati. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Dina bandhu dukha harta, tumhara shaka mere, Swami tumhara shaka mere. Karuna hata badhao, karuna hata badhao, sharana pada tere. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Vishaya vikara mitao, paparo deva, Swami paparo deva. Shraddha bhakti badhao, Shraddha prema badhao, Santana ki seva. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Dana mana dana saba hai tera, Swami saba kuch hai tera, Swami saba kuch hai tera. Tera tujhko arpan, tera tujhko arpan, kya lage mera. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Swami Jai Jagadisha Hare. Bhakta janon ke sankata, dasa janon ke sankata, shana me dura kare. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Mana chakra rakoli, girari lala chakra rakoli, girari lala chakra rakoli, girari lala chakra rakoli. Mana chakra rakoli, girari lala chakra rakoli, girari lala chakra rakoli, girari lala chakra rakoli. Chakra ko, chakra ko, chakra koli. Chakra ko, chakra ko, chakra koli. Mane chakra koli, girari lala chakra koli. Shama mane chakra koli, girari lala chakra koli. Govinda mane chakra koli, girari lala chakra koli. Girari lala chakra koli, girari lala chakra koli. Tvameva mata cha pita, tvameva, tvameva bandhusya sakha, tvameva, tvameva vidya dravidam, tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Vrinda. Asato ma satgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma mamritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Prem se bolo Lakshmi Narayana Bhagavan ki. Prem se bolo Shri Bhutni Udesh Krishna Bhagavan ki. Prem se bolo Shri Hare Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki. Prem se bolo Avtar Kriya Baba ji ki. Prem se bolo Shri Pujacharya ki. Prem se bolo Sadgurudeva Shri Swami Vishwananda Mahaprabhu ki. Om Krishnaya Govindaya Gopichanavabhaya Paraya Paramapurushaya Parakarma Mantra Yantra Tantra Oshirashta Shastrani Samraya Samraya Mucho Mochaya Mochaya Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Deti Jala Pritaya Savanik Shobna Humpat Parashmaya Parabrahmane Parajyotishe Swaha Om Shanti 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 Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Jai Jai Shri Radhe Jai Jai Shri Radhe Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam Venkatamana Govinda Gopika Shivasman Govinda Bhakta Vatsala Govinda